All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a fascinating journey straight into the heart of the ultimate fortress city, Constantinople. We're looking at a place where geography, history, and just pure, unchecked human ambition collided to create something truly indestructible. This was a metropolis that stood as the absolute envy of the world, guarding its secrets behind these seemingly impossible layers of defense.
Imagine a structure so wildly ambitious in its design that it actually survived the wrath of nature and the relentless conquests of man. We are talking about an architectural wonder that literally defied time, shrugged off devastating earthquakes like they were nothing, and completely outlasted the rise and fall of absolute empires. So how on earth did a single city protect a treasure like that for centuries? Well, the answer is an absolute masterclass in defensive engineering.
Just look at the sheer majesty of the Hagia Sophia dominating the skyline here. It's breathtaking, right? But to really grasp how this spiritual and architectural core survived the ages, we can't just stare at the building itself. We've got to zoom out. We need to look at the massive concentric rings of defense layered all around it, starting from the very edges of the water and moving inward.
Which brings us to Ring 1, the ultimate natural fortress.
Before invaders even saw a single brick or stone, they faced a geographical nightmare. Take the Bosphorus Strait, for instance. This isn't just a river, it's a massive, turbulent channel stretching 20 miles long and 1.5 miles wide, aggressively splitting the continents of Europe and Asia. Any invading army had to figure out how to cross this treacherous waterway just to get close to the city limits. It was an incredibly intimidating first hurdle. And branching right off of that strait is the Golden Horn. Think of it as a naturally perfect horn-shaped inlet, stretching roughly 2 miles long and 0.5 mile wide. It essentially acted as an impenetrable natural moat and, honestly, arguably the world's finest harbor. It allowed the city's fleets to dock in absolute safety while totally cutting off enemy ships. Between the roaring Bosphorus and the Golden Horn, the city was practically guarded by the planet itself. Now, if an army somehow survived those swirling waters, they hit Ring 2. Walls that defied empires. And the crucial point here is the sheer, imposing scale of what they faced. The city was locked behind unbelievably high, thick walls, heavily reinforced by around 20 massive, square stone towers. And these definitely weren't just lookouts. They were heavily armed bastions designed to rain absolute destruction down on anyone foolish enough to approach.
Plus, these defenses evolved over time. Originally, the ancient city was actually pretty modest, boasting a mere 7 gates. But as the empire's wealth and enemies multiplied, the fortress expanded. It transformed into this sprawling, terrifying obstacle course, featuring up to 37 heavily fortified gates. Every single entrance was a total death trap for attackers, sealing the citizens in perfect safety.
With that invincible shell secured, the empire could focus its wealth on its ultimate jewel, which is Ring 3, rebuilding an architectural wonder. Now, the Hagia Sophia we see today actually wasn't the first attempt. Its early life was incredibly chaotic. First constructed back in 325 AD by Constantine the Great, it was later completely decimated by a massive earthquake in the 500s. But that total natural devastation, it really just set the stage for its legendary resurrection. Between 531 and 538 AD, the Emperor Justinian initiated an epic 7-year rebuild, absolutely determined to create something that would defy the earth itself.
To pull this off, Justinian summoned a truly superhuman effort. We're talking exactly 100 elite master architects commanding a tireless, highly skilled army of 10,000 workers. Day and night, this incredible workforce labored for 7 straight years to manifest an architectural dream that had literally never been attempted in human history.
And the numbers they produced are staggering, even today. The Great Dome measured 270 feet in length, 243 feet in width, and soared 180 feet up into the sky. To put that into perspective, they created an interior space so impossibly vast that it feels like stepping into an artificial universe. It easily became the most magnificent building of its era.
So, how did it stay up? Let's step inside for Ring 4, Secrets of the Great Dome.
Take a look at this colossal dome. To make sure it wouldn't just collapse on itself, the ancient engineers utilized a brilliantly ingenious trick. They wedged blocks of precious green jasper stone tightly beneath the great arches.
This rare, resilient stone basically acted as an ancient shock absorber, ensuring the whole structure remained perfectly balanced and flexible enough to ride out the violent tremors of future earthquakes.
But they didn't stop there. Supporting all of that overwhelming weight required way more than just clever geometry. The entire internal structure is held aloft by an unbelievable 170 magnificent, towering columns made of extremely rare porphyry and marble. And here is a truly mind-blowing fact about those 170 columns. They were not quarried fresh for this building. Nope, they were actually scavenged from the greatest pagan temples of the ancient world. The builders hauled massive pillars all the way from the Temple of the Sun in Egypt, the legendary Temple of Diana in Ephesus, and ancient sanctuaries scattered across Athens.
By bringing these sacred stones together, they weren't just putting up a building. The Hagia Sophia stands as a magnificent, indestructible patchwork of history's greatest empires, fusing ancient ruins with genius engineering to create a monument that would outlive them all. It is literally built on the shoulders of the ancient world.
But as we know, walls, waters, and stone domes simply aren't enough to hold the line forever. This brings us to Ring 5, the ultimate human weapon. Because a city cannot survive on stone alone, it demands flesh and blood, an invincible human shield. The final layer of the city's defense wasn't made of mortar or rare jasper. It was forged in something much darker, setting up a shocking reality that would shape the region for centuries to come.
Which leaves us with a massive, chilling question. To protect this impenetrable city, what mysterious military force took young children from their homes, only to rigorously forge them into the world's ultimate, unbending fighting machines? We're going to dive deep into that terrifying human war machine in our next explainer, and trust me, you absolutely do not want to miss it.